Hello, everyone.
Hail and greetings. So, where are we wandering today?
Well, first, to introduce the game properly, here we have Elder Scrolls Online,
Alrighty.
and one that I've gotten really into over the last year or so. Tried a lot of MMOs, and I just kind of landed on this one. Ooh, camel.
I know you've had problems ranging from bizarre level scaling to bizarre glitchiness with other ones, but this seems to be one that you've settled on pretty firmly.
Yeah. And right now, we are in Mournhold.
Ooh, city of light, city of magic.
Yep. A bit small. There's a temple taking up basically half the city. I don't know if... I think in this it's implied that or just outright said, that the Tribunal are basically ruling this city. So Helsith and his ilk are nowhere to be seen quite yet. As this is 800 years before Morrowind.
Alright.
And most of the rest of the series. So
we actually get to meet all three of the Tribunal then?
I think so, yes. I think one of the DLCs is Clockwork City, and that's where you meet Sotha Sil, Vivek's in Vardenfell, which we can actually show you the map real quick. So, I've yet to touch this. This looks massive and great. But, first I think we should introduce ourselves. This is Davron Hyperion.
Nice.
Dark Elf Sorcerer, basically a battle mage, as per usual.
I was gonna say, you've been playing a lot of Dark Elf battle mages lately.
Yeah, I just like the...
Fun archetype?
Mm-hmm. Apparently I have superior equipment bonus. That's great.
Well, you've put some time into crafting in this, so...
Yeah, well, in the weaponry. Not so much in the armor. The armor is leather crafting that I haven't really bothered with. Now, right now I'm putting on a special outfit I specifically designed for this character. Without the outfit, looks like that.
I mean, that still looks pretty cool, but it's very pink.
Yeah, and a bit of a mishmash. See, in World of Warcraft, you basically have to transmute each piece of armor.
Okay.
Here, you could basically just design it from scratch at an in-game cost.
Fair enough. I was going to say, you don't have PvP areas, at least you're playing in them, that you'd have to be judging your opponent by their armor anyway, so...
Well, you don't really do that anyway. You just kind of... Yeah, judging someone by their armor doesn't really happen, since... at top level, you could either be Daedric, you could look... Like, Daedric is an armor style.
Rather than a material.
Right. Like, I specifically made the sword in the Daedric style.
Mm-hmm.
Also pretty sword.
Yes.
So, yeah...
everyone always wants a Daedric Daikatana.
Now, some fans of ESO are going to be pulling their hair out what I did, because usually you kind of, pick a direction and just keep going, attributes-wise. But, frankly, I don't really plan on doing much PvP, so... Oh well. So... so what skills do we have? Well, as a sorcerer, he has dark magic, which I only really started doing recently. Mm-hmm. Daedric Summoning, which I've been using basically this whole time, and Storm Calling. Now, I think it's important to note that these parts of the class is the only thing dependent on class.
Okay.
Weapon, armor, world,
obviously,
guild, all that, race obviously, and crafting, those are all completely independent of the class.
Okay.
So there's quite a bit you could do with it. It's kind of a weird mix of, yes, sort of classes from other games, but also the freedom of other Elder Scrolls games. Mm-hmm. I'm still not entirely sure how to make of it. Like, sometimes I wonder, what if you mix dark magic with one of, the necromancer skills?
Okay.
Or Daedric summoning, or storm calling. Maybe if you had a design that has just all the elemental skills together, instead of just lightning.
That might end up being a balance issue, ultimately, at least as it's set up right now. But
it would, but this is Elder Scrolls. And I think traditionally...
Well, yes, traditionally you don't care about balance issues in an Elder Scrolls game, but because it's multiplayer, that does add another dimension.
Yeah. So yeah, the two weapon styles are two-handed weaponry, basically swords for the most part. All their buffs, and destructive staff.
Okay.
And crafting, I've concentrated on blacksmithing for the sword, since it does use heavy armor, enchanting, and woodworking for a staff.
Alright.
So yeah, quite a bit of flexibility, and crafting is actually pretty easy to level up. You basically collect anything you collect.
Can be deconstructed, correct?
Yeah, except for, I think, for the exception of potion making, alchemy.
Alright.
Those can't be deconstructed, but everything else, the fastest way is basically a constant pattern of go adventuring, breaking down what you have, and then going back into the fray.
Now, I do find the mental image of somebody trying to deconstruct potions amusing.
Yeah.
I will get the berries back out of this potion. I'll do it, I swear.
But yeah, it's kind of a surprise, well, a pleasant surprise that you can enchant, deconstruct the enchanting stuff. Well, it must be said, you get far less, like, runes and stuff than you do, like, equipment or staffs and stuff like that. So.
On that note, shall we enjoy another perfect day in Mournhold?
Well, right now it's a very stormy night.
Alright.
So I say we move elsewhere.
Okay, where are we going?
Well, we're going to the Rothgarian Mountains to visit Orsinium. So just remember the size of this place.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're over here. Which actually, I'm pretty sure they put Mournhold like up here in Morrowind, but
it was off of Vardenfell anyway, so its relative position didn't matter that much in Morrowind.
Yeah, I'm curious how this looks compared to the Tamriel rebuilt map.
I would be interested in seeing that.
Yeah.
I mean, all of this is kind of working off of Arena's base plan, so.
Right. And so we're going to a place that hasn't been visited in a game since Daggerfall.
Ooh.
So, first we're going to take a quick stop at this Orsinium.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I might be mistaken, but this feels significantly bigger than Mournhold.
It looks bigger from here.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see.
Under construction, I say.
Yep. The orcs are trying to unite and build a home.
Ooh. Which sadly would not be fully worked out for another 800 years, but...
Well, canon is a funny thing in the Elder Scrolls.
Fair enough. ESO is it its own separate canon, or...?
You know, I'm not entirely sure if anyone's confirmed or unconfirmed that. But, you know, I'm kind of fine with it being its own thing. Like, since Elder Scrolls changed a lot between Daggerfall and Morrowind.
And for that matter, between Arena and Daggerfall.
Yeah. And if this is its own thing and, you know, retconning it where, you know, the orcs get their place. I mean, I do feel it's a powerful moment in the series that the orcs, the traditional villains of a lot of fantasy, you know, end up being recognized by the Empire. And not really due to any, like, heroics on anyone's part. It's just, you know, the work of, you know, Gortwog and his specific kingdom. So I do feel it's a powerful moment. That predates what Warcraft did by about 5 years. And it wasn't due to any curse or anything. It's just, you know, stigma and all that. It's one of the things I always found Elder Scrolls a lot more relatable. So, we are in Orsinium, but this is not the first attempt.
Okay. Ooh.
Old Orsinium. And that is where we're going to explore today. Oh yeah, that's one of their, he named them.
Aww.
Little Maramouche.
That is adorable. You know, I like Elder Scrolls best when it has weird creatures.
Yeah. So,
to Old Orsinium?
Yep, and we'll explore a little bit of this after we explore Old Orsinium.
Alright.
These are not easy words to pronounce.
I love how so many of these cities just have bards.
Yep. Yeah, there's the whatever faults the world building has in this game is it's very lively.
Mm-hmm.
You have bards, you have cats just kind of milling about, you have dogs milling about. You can find summon creatures hanging about that have names.
I do rather love that they, instead of just having the characters stand still, they have them actually animated to look at maps while they're in there.
Yeah, because basically looking at a map, it looks like that, and looking through the inventory. See, I would be animated looking in a bag, but from my point of view, it's just that.
Yeah, probably because the animation in the background would get pretty distracting for your part, but
yeah.
This also does keep people from just looking like they're just standing around.
Beat me to it. Oh well.
There will be others.
Yep.
But there's a troll.
Yep. Yeah. And here we get our first taste of combat, which is
regenerating.
Yeah. I don't think they regenerate in this game actually.
Okay.
Which kind of a missed opportunity. I would say that maybe the enemies could have used a bit more tactical strategy than they currently do.
Spiders.
Yep. That's a rune. Anyways, play Skyrim probably recognizes that. Not so much the effect, but
Not the rune itself.
yeah. Oh yeah, and I do like how the guilds give skills of their own.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I just used, the rune, that's specific to the mage skill.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Actually, what I think I'm gonna do is swap out. Still kind of deciding, like, these are the ultimate abilities, which have their own bar.
Mm-hmm.
So, still trying to figure out which ones I like best there. Because currently I have the Atronach equipped with the sword, and the Meteorite equipped with the staff. So, level scaling. That's a high-ranking type of wood. And only because it's my level.
Okay.
In fact, I did woodworking pretty late. In fact, well after I was max, level. Oh, some giants, some mammoths. No, these guys. I completely missed that. Always remind of the Sixth Demon bag, Big Trouble in Little China when I do that. Oh yeah, Daedric staff that I made.
Neat.
Actually, just a show off. Okay, so gold basically means legendary, and that's about as powerful as that's going to get.
Okay. This is an incredibly petty thing to bother me, but some of the butterflies are upside down when they fly.
Wasn't that the case in Skyrim too?
Yep.
Maybe that's just what they look like here?
Okay, but they're basing it off of ones that you actually see in real life, so... It's just a minor thing that bugs me personally, because I am an entomologist.
It bugs you.
Yes, it does.
Our Punic...
The Punic War Director.
Yeah, the Punic War Director has not lost his touch.
He infected you and it will not leave us.
Nope. Harpies. That's
Ooh,
it.
those haven't shown up in a while.
Yeah. I love when that happens. There's one quest in this game where an Argonian village gets destroyed, and one of the Argonians wants revenge. And you're supposed to bring him back his heart.
Didn't you turn the guy to ash?
Yeah, I turned him to ash, which has the great mental image of me just kind of sifting through and finding the heart still preserved. Alright, so I went the wrong way. That's cool. Now, these guys are hostile, they're not. So, I'm going to try to leave them alone when I can.
Okay.
Since they seem to be a favorite beast of burden among the orcs.
I was going to say, relevant to people whose hearts would not burn, the poet Percy Shelley.
I'm sorry, what?
In real life, the poet Percy Shelley, he was cremated. And
Oh, right, Mary Shelley's husband.
yep. As I recall, they ended up keeping his heart on the mantelpiece because he calcified.
Yeah, fitting for the writer of Frankenstein.
Yes.
So yeah, you have the hilarious mental image of me sitting through and just finding the heart. The heart is the only solid thing left. And so you give the heart to the Argonian, and the Argonian throws it into the swamp. And from there, one of the swamp creatures, I think it's like a crocodile thing, comes and eats it.
Nice.
Just in case you weren't sure he was dead or not, after being turned to ash and having his
heart torn out, then
Yeah.
it gets eaten by a crocodile.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, turning to ash happens randomly. So that was just a very, very...
Fitting little set piece there.
So, yeah.
I am loving the landscape on all of this.
Yeah. Come a long way since the sort of hilly lands of Iliac back.
Yes.
So I guess that kind of goes into that.
There's a lot to be said for landscapes that are actually designed rather than procedurally generated.
Yeah. I think I like this kind of thing better.
Yeah. As much as I love Daggerfall, it honestly could have benefited from being smaller.
Yeah. So we're going to go into the public dungeons. Now, there are kind of three types of dungeons.
Okay.
We have the delves, which are very small, very quick dungeons, kind of like what you would see in Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
We have the group dungeons, and those familiar with MMOs, that's the one that you queue for.
Okay.
And you basically require a group, or else you will, unless you have a very psychotic build, you're not going to get through that alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the public dungeons, which are kind of in between. They're much bigger. They have hidden bosses and a lot of like nice little hidden stuff. They tend to have more than one quest in them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just a nice challenge without being too overwhelming.
All right.
And it's through these dungeons that I really saw a difference in the growth, because it is level scaled.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, someone at level 1 with something, or level 5 with something equivalent to their level will do the same basic damage as I do.
Failed you.
Stop this fella.
The fire. It must burn. Malakat's fire. The heart of Old Orsinium. The lights of every decade. But those of us chosen to set the flame were ambushed.
Who did this?
Doesn't matter. Light the brazier to begin the rites of praise and scorn. Malakat will gladden your habits by basking in Temper's fork if you are worthy of his regard. Vengeance from Malakat. Promise me you'll light the pyre. Swear it.
I swear.
Now, I can finally rest.
Anything else I can do for you?
Lighting Malakat's pyre is all you can do. Every 10 years it must be lit anew. For 1,000 years we have done this. We will do so for 1,000 more. Malakat never forgets. Malakat never forgives. We honor Old Orsinium's creation and scorn its fall. My order shows Malakat we will not repeat their mistakes.
Now, when the other choice turns red, that tends to be a quest-altering choice. So,
That's probably going to kill him.
yeah, the rest one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because usually the other one would turn red as well, so I guess this choice is fine, and this is kind of our last chance to ask.
Mm-hmm.
The wrathful flame binds Malakat's anger to the failures of our people. We must always remember what led us to our doom.
Let's go light the pyre and not just bid him rest right now. I'd like to be able to tell him it's lit.
Now, I can finally.
Actually, yeah, let's try that. Okay, so wow,
Big place.
yeah, I think this is bigger than any I've come across so far, actually. Because usually it just kind of really like stuffs this one kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
Let's be off then.
Also, my pet Dwemer.
Aw.
I've had a few pets, and a couple of dogs, one wolf puppy.
Right now you've got a Dwemer?
Yeah, I figure, you know, this is fitting.
Yeah.
Dark Elf, Morrowind. Bear. Okay.
Another seeks to light my fire. Weaker than those who fell. We shall see.
Okay, so we have a couple of versions. Let's go this way. Now, in the current storyline, the new king is trying to turn the orcs away from Malakath and toward a god called Trinimac. I'm not entirely familiar with Trinimac. Okay. Yeah, like I said, this has to have a bit more challenge, but again, it really highlights how your character has grown, because a lot of the combat really depends on what skills you use, rather than just
this number bigger than that number.
yeah. Like that whole to them, you know, more than enough for me to give myself some room. Oh, hey buddy. Thanks.
Thank you, friend. I see we have more spiders. One thing with this being a multiplayer dungeon, they effectively infinitely respawn, right?
Pretty much all the bosses, stuff like that. In fact, in order to max out a couple things, or this will do anything. Or to max out a couple things, I grinded, you know, one that's actually located in Windhelm.
Okay.
So it made it pretty easy to just come out. You know.
Sell your stuff and go back.
Yep. Nah, I'm good. That was a guild invite.
Okay.
Doesn't happen often. I did join one with the hopes that... See, sometimes you queue for a dungeon and everyone just wants to sprint forward and ignore all the enemies, and that just isn't fun.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I don't know much about Trinimac, but... Basically, you know, that's supposed to be the new god that the Orc King
Wants to worship.
Yeah, and the Orc King isn't the most stable. He's a bit of a glutton, a bit of a...
Ooh, hag ravens.
Yeah. Well, as per usual... As per usual, yeah, you can unlock a skill for the Dark Elf to be a bit more resistant to fire.
Mm-hmm. Heavy emphasis on the raven part of the hag ravens there.
Yeah. Well, things are a bit more stylized, I think, than the usual Elder Scrolls. Yeah. Just make sure I'm not missing anything through this corridor.
I have to admit, I first thought they were gold blocks.
Too bad, I got red hair. You know...
Leave that one be.
Yeah.
No reason to bother them.
Hag ravens are one thing, but, you know, a bear. Only if they're really in my way.
Yeah.
Okay.
His companions will be awake again in a minute anyway, so...
Yep. Yeah, we might be waiting for a boss or two. Because yeah, people are coming through.
Mm-hmm. It always amuses me to see the spiders just fly up in the air.
Yeah. So this will be an interesting question of canon getting through this particular storyline, because I'm not entirely sure. I think it's more than hinted that the Orc King could become a villain.
Ooh. Aspect of Malakath. And an outdoorsy portion.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
Oh yeah, so there's one dungeon that's like 90% outdoor.
Stand before Malakath, Daedric, Prince of Vengeance. Mortals often gawk and grovel. Do not
You want me to bow?
bow. Never bow. Only show the top of your head when you smash in your enemy's face. Think I require supplication? Do you mistake me for Monarch Ball?
Oh, that's funny. You could say that you got through the main quest.
I want to see his response to that.
He still remains. You should have finished the job.
You know, I did what I could against a god. What do you want?
Like great fire, so my wrath can smolder for another generation. Breach the gates, as invaders breached Old Orsinium.
Oh.
Honor the clans who carved out a mountainside to raise these walls. Those who armed, fed, and ruled this city in its prime. Honor the clans who built a city worthy of my attention.
I think we're gonna get along famously.
Yep.
Right. So.
Onwards we go.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we haven't seen harpies in a long time.
Yeah. We had cliff racers. Actually, the cliff racers in this are non-hostile.
They must not have gotten cranky until later.
Yep. Before Jib had to sort them out.
A lot of bird-like enemies in this dungeon.
Yeah, I mean the harpies are pretty common.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little similarities to Daggerfall. Bring up the cursor again.
Mm-hmm.
Also teleporting,
Mm-hmm.
which makes a bit more sense in MMO. Oh boy. Hello. Yeah, come and get me. Oh yeah, the newly introduced endeavors.
Basically rewards for just playing the game.
Yeah.
Rays are mortal, unrivaled in their craft. Their steel was as legendary as their tempers, the second pillar of strength in Orsinium.
So, alright, so we came out of that. So I guess we go around.
Yeah, I figure we can probably wander around the outside of this one. Speaking of things similar to this and Daggerfall, I heard they're working on a multiplayer Daggerfall.
Yep, and I am looking forward to that. I hope it's more user-friendly than the multiplayer Morrowind, because I really could not figure that out.
Yeah, we tried for a bit and it ended up just being kind of a pain.
Yeah, I do. It's still in kind of sort of alpha, so yeah, there's always time for improvement. There's always room for improvement in the modding community.
Yep. Well, there's a lot of people doing it on patch. Also, she have a puppy.
Yep.
Oh, what a good boy.
That's what I mean. Just people just ignoring like the fun part of this kind of RPG.
Huh. Since, yeah, half the fun is going through the combat, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, this is a very divisive game.
Oh? Yeah. A lot of people, I think, didn't really feel it was proper Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, fair enough.
I remember Yahtzee's review was somewhat scathing of it. Granted, it's been changed pretty heavily since it was first introduced, hasn't it?
Yeah, the level scaling wasn't there at the time. Which I think improved a lot of things, because that basically means there are no dead areas.
And it generally improves the single-player experience, right?
Yeah. As a nice medium difficulty in most areas. Though definitely some of the dungeons, especially the queued dungeons, have been pretty challenging.
But you want some kind of challenge in your game, right?
Oh, yeah. I've kind of grown to like just need danger in my games. Like it, like a Warriors game just doesn't entertain me all that much.
Fair enough.
Just gonna avoid these guys where I can.
At least the young aren't hostile.
Oh yeah.
Aw, they headbutt.
Yep. There might be a hidden boss here, but we can look. Honestly, it's usually in a pretty out of the way area.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can. Oh, can I go?
I have to go up and around, it looks like.
Yeah. Also, be on the lookout for sky shards.
Alright.
Yeah, the key to these dungeons is crowd control.
That is fair.
Mm-hmm. The combat has a good hefty weight to it. Must be said. World of Warcraft, I mean, it's an early one, so it's not entirely fair.
Mm-hmm.
But...
I think you still have stuff to do out here.
Yep. Like I said, I couldn't bring my notes. I these puzzles as much as I do. So there was this children rhyme to remember for the first game. 4 symbols form the key of clans that raise a city, whose name we honor to this day, among the orcs of Iliac Bay. First came those who built her walls. Next, it is those who armed her halls. Third were they who kept her fueled. Last, whom or all others ruled.
That is a lot of bears at once.
Yeah.
Not at all like our encounters of bears in person.
Nope. This is an optimistic encounter with bears.
Mm-hmm.
Bears were a boogeyman in cultures for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Aw, brightly colored burb.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, fine.
If he's gonna buy your plan here.
Yep. Good old Jackson.
Mm-hmm. What's what you say your strangest encounter with wildlife in real life was?
Well, let's see. There was when I went to Shenandoah Valley quite a number of years ago. We
Raised our ignorant, who ruled with steel blade and iron will. Ruthless, fearless leaders strengthen all who follow.
Okay, so that's the ruling one. So when you're in the Shenandoah Valley, this was when you were a kid, right?
Yeah. Well, relatively. I think I was at least on my way to college at the time.
Okay. Yeah, we were kids back then.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. And we got separated, so we had to take the road back to our car, and yeah, there was some down the valley. One.
Raised on Chumash, the great builders. They did not fear the weight of mountains as they carved and shaped Orsinium.
And we're warned that there was a bear on the side of the road we were walking on, so we went to the valley side of the road.
All right.
And discovered bears down below. Yeah, spiders are cannibals, so.
That's actually a major plot point in So I'm a Spider, So What?
That's an anime, right?
Yeah, it's basically an isekai where a girl is transported to a magical realm as the least powerful spider monster and works her way up through determination and spite.
Spider.
Let's see. Looks like there's one left.
Ooh.
Ah.
Our first boss of the area. Okay.
Should probably take her out.
My other summon.
Storm Astronaut?
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot of the combat is watching your footing.
Making sure you don't get knocked back.
Enough cannibalism. Thank you.
Any pretty stuff back there? Or
Mm-hmm.
let's let them headbutt each other.
Yep. Just hope they let us do our thing.
Mm-hmm. Have you been through this dungeon before, or is this the first time?
It was the first time. Well, basically you can... Well,
Raised our shot the peerless hunters. They strengthened forms, worked steel and stone for the glory of Orsinium.
Okay.
okay, so I think we got the hint there. We'll want to reread that.
Yeah.
Would you ask me?
Hmm?
I feel like you asked me something.
I completely forget now, so... See, you already told me about the odd encounter with wildlife, so...
Yeah.
It does feel like the dungeons are a lot larger and more detailed than the towns. Which,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, we're going to be doing all your stuff. Oh, shit. Yeah, this doesn't have ragdoll physics, but I do love. I love that.
Well, I did see that this one plays with Havoc in the IDAN. Obviously we didn't put that in here, but...
Yeah, I'm kind of curious of where exactly they did that.
My thought is maybe in the water?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, this doesn't seem to have a lot of physics going on at all.
Yeah. Which is fair, since it's an online game you want to...
I don't think we need to pick the flesh flies out of the corpses.
Yeah. So I do... This is probably going to be a controversial opinion, yeah, for some. Though, yeah, the Oblivion plot in proper Oblivion isn't anyone's favorite, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
But... But I like the Oblivion invasion of the vanilla game in ESO that more than I do in Elder Scrolls 4.
That is fine. Elder Scrolls 4 had its issues.
Yeah. Might be something here if I feed these guys.
Find out, I suppose. You know, there's hexagons.
Oh, no, 4.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I got the impression that they had 6 legs.
You know, I thought it was they had more than 4. First time I glanced at them.
What do you think is your favorite game that we played at all through last year?
New one, I guess.
Just any that we've been playing around with. You can restrict it to new ones if you like, but...
Let's restrict it to ones that... That's a good question. Because, you know, I've played quite a few good ones, you know,
Yeah.
for their own reasons. Let's see, a medieval, is up there.
For what it's worth, I think mine is a tie.
Let's see which ones.
Between Outer Wilds and Fallout 4.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Well, those are good ones.
Yeah. I was going to say... Ooh, what have we got here?
6 of them. Let's see, what was that? Oh.
Ah, yes, there we are.
Okay. Nuts.
Okay, I know which ones they are.
Okay, builders, armorers,
Huntsman.
huntsmen, and rulers. Okay.
That one's armorer.
Armorer.
Builder.
Okay. Okay.
Not a thing.
Armorer. Okay.
Shittle. And then that guy is ruler.
There is no need for weapons to defend. And if you cannot feed your people, then you will be nothing to rule. A strong ruler is nothing if he stands alone.
Thank you, Malagat.
Yeah, a lot of the dungeons tend to remain thematic to the area as a whole. Like,
Appropriate.
For example, this one. Or actually, right. Okay, so you know there's a plague in this one, which was great to go through in 2020.
Ooh, yeah, that would hit differently in 2020, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and this one is basically people hiding out from the plague.
Okay.
So they tend to stay pretty relevant to the overall plot while still basically being independent.
Oh, that's just pretty, the sunlight playing on the water.
Yeah. He'll be fine. Yeah, it must be said that this game is much better about followers finding their way out of a sticky situation than most Elder Scrolls games.
Good. You'll notice that Daggerfall doesn't bother with actual followers, they just go and put a picture of the guy's face next to you.
The Winterborn.
So what are the Winterborn?
Main villains of this, I think they're Nords who want revenge against the Orcs.
Okay. Oh, does she just resurrect him?
You jerk.
I mean, not that he wasn't going to resurrect in a minute anyway, but...
Yeah, let's see. I need to recharge this, I think, yep. As per usual, use the soul gems, and might as well charge this one.
That works.
Alright.
They've done not number on Orsinium's library, haven't they?
Yeah. Alright, so that's something to consider. The Hag Ravens revive.
Yeah.
Oh, boss.
I was gonna say, that sounds like a fancy name.
Yep.
Some fancy hag ravens.
How about Meteorite? Oh, balls.
Whoops.
Alright, Well, we'll be a bit more careful then. Yeah, maybe they'll come over. Okay.
I'm curious, is there a diegetic reason why you can revive?
I forget. But,
Okay.
whatever.
Not that much matters.
Okay. Be a bit more careful this time.
So the bosses actually have some challenge to them.
Yep. Oh, alright. We got friends, yay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that was a bit harder than usual.
Still, nice to have allies come through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they take a damage penalty.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's never that much.
Never so much that it isn't worth teaming up.
Yeah. Maybe they did up there.
Oh, possibly. I mean, they're ending up with a more experienced player base at this point, so...
Yeah.
And for what I've played of this, it is actually still fairly welcoming to new people.
Yeah.
You honor those who forged Old Orsinium from nothing. Now you will curse those who caused your fall. Those who cannot unite against a common enemy will fall. Thus the fate of Old Orsinium. For this, they earn my scorn. Beyond are the guardians of my wrath. They will keep you from lighting my fire. Mortal lives are a litany of despair and treachery. Only wrath can see you through the darkest days. Succeed, despite all who oppose you. Grasp at a most spiteful triumph.
I like him.
Alright, fair enough. Even Malakath's better at parties. You take back what you said, Shagoroth.
Pretty.
Oh, that is nice.
She was still under construction when she fell, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Or is this not the first time they've tried to rebuild Orsinium? Did they originally try on the initial spot? Ugly's companion. Oh, duh.
Yeah, AI companions. Which I'm kind of two ways about, to be honest.
You seem to be doing just fine without it, so.
Well, you can say that.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
We'll say, if Malakath can drink as well as he fights, his parties would be a great time.
Yeah. Alright, so this, I guess we're cursing everyone from here.
Interesting that Malakath had no problem with just letting the ugly one wander in.
Well, I guess maybe he knew we would be here.
Maybe. He does seem like a fellow who would ignore logic for a good fight.
Yeah. I'm here to curse someone. Up here is by.
just didn't think people would get on with Hagrid so well.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, well, I think these are Reachmen.
Okay. Oh, that would explain a lot.
Who would be the Forsworn.
Later on.
Yeah.
Well, I know she found a Briarheart shield.
Yeah.
They are really emphasizing the Raven part of Hagrid with that Foley effect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, curse number 1.
Cursed are Farquaad for lighting the fire that is Old Orsinium. Warriors should reap to draw out worthy opposition. They should not grow to enjoy it.
Anything to find? Let's see what we have here. Yeah, one enemy really isn't a problem to me at this point.
Fair enough. I mean, you've gone through the main quest and all that, so.
Mm-hmm. So, looks like that's sealed shut. Oh, if there's a boss here.
Do you want to hang about and wait for her, or.
I think I might just at least hang about this room.
She'll be around.
Yeah, it's kind of the annoying part of these dungeons.
Have to wait for the Forever Curse to re-arise.
Yeah.
One thing I've talked about before is diegesis in video games.
Yeah, and MMOs are kind of messy in that.
Yeah. Just
Well,
because there's.
apparently I said M at some point, but anyway.
Huh.
Let's see. That's Dunmer.
Huh, very pretty and flowing.
Yep, let's see, loot, I think. One time, me and a few other players were waiting for a world boss to come up, and we all just brought out instruments.
Nice.
I started typing Cotton Eye Joe lyrics.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of little stuff like this, you would need a mod or something in Skyrim.
Yeah. It's just nice that they put it in the first place.
Yeah.
The little interactions.
Well, I think doing little stuff like this to really bring the personality out.
Well, I'd be
Very
quite
good.
honestly to be tempted to just go into a city, and if I had to go make dinner or something, to just set my character to play the lute and walk off.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, you might be kicked off for inactivity. Just
Sure.
you just logged off.
That is fair. It probably is a matter of
Yeah.
server space and all that.
Flute. I don't think there's a theme I know.
It's not one I recognize.
Toss a coin to your witcher, a valley of flame.
So what other instruments do you have? They did a much better job of lining that up with the noise the instruments make.
Yeah. A little bit much simpler with that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sing. Alright. Bestow blessing. Oh, hello.
Oh, perfect. This won't be her first or last time reliving this, so.
Yep. Oh yeah, I think this is a different boss music for once. I think for a while they were kind of like stuck with the boss music of whatever the latest thing is, but it looks like they finally fixed that problem.
All right.
Go back, little guy. Thank you.
Now you're playing Fierce People away, isn't he?
Yep. All right. To be honest, I don't really know what that means, but anyway. Alright, I guess we go after the hag ravens first.
Yes, since they can resurrect their enemy, or their allies. I mean, presumably they could also resurrect their enemies, but why would they?
Oh, well, it'll definitely be a good PR move.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So you already killed them once, so let's see if we can live and let live.
Huh. Insofar as they'll let you. It is neat seeing the roots of Orsinium, since we haven't seen this since, what, Daggerfall?
Yeah, in the 96. And,
Things have changed a bit since 96.
I do feel that I still feel that the development of the orcs is one of the stronger points of the series. Alright, I'm here to curse someone out.
Nice.
Thanks for the entertainment.
Say, did that other player just draw all of the enemies in this area?
I think so.
Nice. I'll take that.
Wasn't me. Jack's just poking out one poor sack.
Well, he's a good boy.
Yep, he is the best boy.
Like, you finished clearing out that whole bunch of them, and he's just found one that he's cornered and
Yeah.
he's making.
I kind of feel like a Sith playing as this guy, with all the lightning and sword play and all that.
I could see that, yeah.
It doesn't hurt that I have a red sword.
Yeah. Let's clear out these spiders, and then let's hear what Malakap has to say about this plan.
Because unity is definitely a running theme. Oh. See, that's a frequent occurrence where you think you're locked onto an enemy, but you're actually locked onto some poor sap, whether it's a squirrel or a mouse. So I have actually sent lightning, thinking about to finish someone off.
And actually fried a rabbit.
Yeah. But like it's more hilarious if the rabbit turns into dust.
Not quite what you intended to do.
Where you're just like, oh, sorry, and then it turns into dust, like, sorry. Is that all?
I think so.
Sorry. Oh, I think that was one of the names we could have chosen.
Not fighting to the death. First suggestion from the others. They slipped away, so one clan might survive Orsinium's fall. Their departure was Orsinium's true betrayal.
Yeah, that was one of the symbols we could have picked.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a very wrong answer. Okay.
Is that what you're just repeatedly kicking a dead spider?
Oh yeah, you'll see them occasionally kicking a corpse.
They have priorities.
Yep.
There's a dead spider here, and I must kick it.
You know, of the Elder Scrolls game, this is probably the most consistent combat system. A lot of little things that it's kind of hard to go over, you know, during the act, but well, little ways to just
Changes tide of battle.
yeah, interrupting charge attacks, yeah, blocking certain attacks to get them off their guard, and knocking them over. That's still just hilarious.
Yeah. Out of curiosity, at this point in the game, how much do you need gold?
Not really, to be honest. Yeah, since I'm, you know, not crafting anything anymore, I forget how much a house costs.
A lot, I imagine.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't see much point with the house.
It's probably primarily for roleplay purposes.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think we checked that corner already. I guess what I like about the combat is it's very bread and butter. Like there isn't like a combo system or anything like that. They're just you have a lot of like just basic, you know, moves that you know you can string together.
Any combos are made up from the combination of systems rather than
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gonna sound might sound weird, people, but that's kind of one of the things I didn't particularly care for in Guild Wars 2.
the combo systems.
Yeah, they're like a lot of little combo systems. It kind of felt like it was trying to be an action game with.
Cursed are ignorant who praise the raging done in their name. They hid behind these walls when called to account, rather than face their opponents directly.
Oh, they were the ones that had ruled over all that we praised earlier.
Yeah. I guess another thing I like about this one is that the community tends to be a bit gentler than the kind of like angry, almost corporate attitude of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you said that sometimes people would get really ticked off if you were doing a less than optimal build.
Yeah, and maybe it's different if it's like veteran. In that case, you kind of have you know, more of a right to be annoyed because those are meant to be harder, and you should be prepared for those. But on a regular dungeon, you know, it's not that. Oh, boss.
No. These ones have names.
No, you don't.
You won't receive it.
Good job, guys.
Well, your Astronaut shorts out.
Yep.
That animation amuses me more than it should.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm starting to prefer, like, custom death animations versus ragdolls. I think Skyrim does a decent job of, putting the two together, but, there's kind of a loss of weight, the way that a lot of people use ragdolls.
Yeah.
Especially the original Demon Souls. It's basically like having a balloon between your legs whenever you try to walk over them. And depending on how you turn, you basically just like toss them into the void. Funny, but not really fitting in the tone.
That is fair. So it sounds like there were 6 clans total. 2 of them were cursed but not honored, and 2 of them were honored but not cursed. Every time I see flesh flies, I keep thinking of bot flies. Which are kind of cute looking in their own right, but not pleasant to look up.
Any particular reason?
I mean, they're kind of parasitic.
Oof, okay.
Hypothetically, they live in dead creatures, but they aren't picky.
Moving on.
Yeah. Every time I see the flesh flies, that's what I think of.
I've yet to see them revive a hag raven specifically.
Okay, so it might just be they'll revive their human allies.
But yeah, the combat is really, best be described as, how best to stop the enemy from moving. I mean, there's not much you could do with bosses, but in crowds like this, you want as many swords off you as possible.
So can you knock them down? Can you distract them with a tag?
Yeah.
I know, that's serious.
Yep. Oh yeah, the Oblivion plot duck.
Yes.
So I do feel that the story of an Oblivion invasion is better presented in this game. Seeing all of Tamriel kind of like torn apart, basically as a result of what led to this damn spider. Anyway.
Honestly, it felt like there wasn't any particular reason why Oblivion had to take place in Cyrodiil.
Yeah.
And the Knights of the Nine plot felt a lot more integrated.
Yeah, felt more like it had more to do with Cyrodiil.
That being said, I absolutely adore Oblivion's Thieves' quest line.
Yeah.
And I have had fun with the Dark Brotherhood quest line, though it's not my favorite. I don't usually go for classy types.
Yeah.
But I've had fun with it. Still, I think Thieves Guild is my favorite quest line in Oblivion.
I think the Fighters Guild is a strong one.
Yeah, it's well constructed.
To be fair to Oblivion, even though it's kind of my least favorite at this point, it does have very beefy guild lines.
Yeah. might sound a little bit odd, but I kind of wish that there was more grind in Skyrim's guilds.
Yeah, well, I did look it up. Apparently you can, grind a bit before, going on, the main story, which, to be fair, you could pad it out. It's just, I guess, more of a variety of the...
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, the repeatable quests in Companions is a bit more varied than in the Mage's Guild. In the Mage's Guild, it's really just collecting books.
Yeah.
Where in Fire's Guild, you could be killing a giant, could be clearing out bandits, or you could just go into a fist fight with someone to get someone off someone else's back.
Yeah.
So there are some strong, variety
in the Radiant quests.
Yeah, and again, I feel that Mage's Guild is kind of lacking in that respect.
A little bit, yeah.
And I think for the sake of doing like Radiant quests, like this, looking up what Daggerfall did could bring some good inspiration.
Yeah.
Since a lot of the other quests in Daggerfall were go to dungeon, click, kill, or just find the thing.
Yeah. Honestly, Daggerfall benefited from some interesting failure states that did not necessarily end the quest, though.
Yeah.
Or failure states that aren't necessarily complete failures. Degrees of success, things like sometimes you go to kill a giant and there is a giant. Sometimes you go to kill a giant and there's a bear that got spooked. And sometimes you go to kill a giant and it turns out there's a merchant you can rescue as well.
Yeah.
And it's not every time with any of those. So you've got a little more variety, even in things that look like they're the same quest.
Yeah. You kill a Lich and under the Knights, and he could have a map to one of the artifacts. Mm-hmm. Oh, hi guys. Fancy seeing you here. Did you notice I wasn't a Nord?
You, not a Nord? Who would have guessed? What gave him away? Was it the fiery eyes?
Yeah, that lightning spell I keep using it as a deadly effect where if the enemy's health is low enough, by the time the timer goes off, it just explodes within them.
Fair enough.
So it's a good way to just kind of like finish off a weakened enemy.
Mm-hmm. So let's hear what Malekith has to say about the last of these.
Again, I really like these dungeons.
Yeah, they're just pretty.
Cursed are Shatur, hoarded the food amidst the siege. Greed weakened all plans in body and spirit, sealing Orsinium's doom.
So they were the ones who were the hunters.
Right. Okay, so it looks like we gotta go back that way, but I'm curious of what's here.
Might as well say.
A feeling that we'll have to go back later in the quest. Ooh, pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing the strengths of, because this is the first kind of DLC thing I'm going through. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely seeing the strengths of just having more time to just work on one area. Mm-hmm. Since let's see, just to show you, Cyrodiil came a little later, but that's fine. So you kind of have like most of this area, this area-ish. Mm-hmm. And then this area excluding that as like the vanilla. So that's quite a lot to cover.
Yeah, and just for time and development's sake, that would probably constrain how much effort they can put into any given area.
Yeah, from what I understand, Bethesda doesn't have the greatest corporate culture in the world. Like, I don't know if it's as bad as EA, but like I know when there were. A separate team was working on New Vegas, and there was a lot of pressure. Mm-hmm. Hence, and that was one of the things that led to New Vegas being a glitchy mess upon release.
Yeah, this honestly seems to be an issue with a lot of game studios.
Yeah, Bethesda is far from alone here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't excuse them, but they're. In fact, there are some things I like about Bethesda over some game studios.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rockstar, for example. I've heard some nightmare work for.
Yeah. Well, to Bethesda's credit, and id Software kind of has this as well. even though they are under Bethesda. And maybe this is why they get along so well, but they tend to leave fan products alone, where you do not touch a property with Nintendo.
Yeah.
And
Ooh, Sky Shark.
yep, as soon as I'm no longer surrounded by spiders. Hey, lady from Riften, I think I found your damn spiders.
Where did I leave the spiders?
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
Did you just take out a tiny spider instead?
Yeah, they're behind the rock somewhere.
That wasn't what you were aiming for.
But you know what? Unintended comedy is like a staple of this series, so I'll accept that.
That's honestly, I think, one of the strengths of video games.
Yeah.
You can have unintended comedy.
Yeah, like that one guy turning to dust. You people. Anyway. Come on, over here. Over here. Come into my web.
Are we good? You all done?
Oh, he's still got sparkling. Anyway. There can be only one! Even though there's like a million of us. I forget what the numbers are currently with ESM.
I can look that up real quick.
Yeah, it's not as much as WoW, I can promise you that, but it might be more than Guild Wars, actually. Guild Wars 2, in any case.
Okay, where else can I help?
I feel there's gonna be another queen spider behind all this.
Okay, 10 million people have played since release, and about 2.5 million are active in any given month.
Alright.
Oh wait, no, that was in 2017.
Yeah, well, from what I understand, it grew, especially with the pandemic and just recent years of just adjusting what they have.
They estimate about 1 million and change are playing every day, with a total player base of 18 million.
Alright, cool. You can't really use subscription as a way of telling, since some people are. I am, because I feel it's worth it.
I'm not, because I tend to forget about the things that are charged in my card automatically, and I want to make the decision on a given month of whether I pay for a thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ooh, actually, as of June of 2021, it was up 12.14% through Steam. So yeah, fun stuff.
So come on, hurry.
Yeah. Conqueror of Old Orsinium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they tend to have hidden bosses. I do wonder where they are in this. Since usually you have to activate something, like there's an old giant boss where you have to kill the mammoths first.
Okay.
And then that unlocks it.
Come into my house.
Yep.
Yeah, time flies when you're playing this one. It's been more than an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, well.
We started about 20 past 6 and it's 7:30 now.
Wow.
Honestly, maybe do we want to complete this objective and then call it an episode?
Yeah, let's finish the main quest.
Well, the main quest might go on for a while.
Just a second.
I say we do Malakath his favor.
Alright. Because I don't think we have that much far to go. So.
Let's run us through the dungeon anyway.
Yeah, I'm running for it.
Don't need to fight every single spider in the place.
No.
Winterboard, on the other hand. I mean, unless you want to draw us one of them to some other poor player.
Nah.
And Jax runs off and finds all the spiders anyway.
We had a plan here, Jax. A plan.
And Jax just goes, but I play.
I know you play, but we had a plan.
He says, I know you plan, but I play.
You're on your own. You're a good boy. Alright. Actually, that's why that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't spray. You'll drain all your stamina.
Fair enough.
That sounds familiar. Balls.
No script for him driving the balls to another player. It's not like you need the gold.
Yeah. Mistakes were made.
I forget, does this quick fall damage?
Yep. That's why I'm being selective of where I'm dropping.
Since after all these fights, it would be a shame for you to just to grab it.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I could fall through this, because one bridge kind of...
Taught you that.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sprint, sprint, sprint.
Gotta be over there. Screw it. Well, one thing I do respect about this over WoW, you can't really do anything with attributes in World of Warcraft, but you know, you can define your character through that in this. You know, if they are, you know, the kind of just basic pools of energy. Well, I've been thinking about you know, the attributes in Skyrim, and they do kind of represent a conglomeration of, you know, lost skills and attributes you want to have anyway.
Yeah.
Like endurance, you know, athletics, acrobatics. Well, not so much acrobatics, but all right. Choose the scorned clans.
In any particular order?
Let's see. Firewood. See. Oh. No. That was awful. Okay. So I guess that was a right one. I think. Was that one?
No. I was gonna say Igrum was.
Yeah.
Fairham was. So it's also figuring out what order.
Yeah. I feel like I did this one before. But...
Okay, so it's
Subway, dude.
Bag rock. We'll try Apron next.
Was that Jesus Christ?
Yes.
Hmm.
I don't think Tomash was. Apron.
Bear with us, guys.
Farrakhan was.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just not in that order.
So. What's the one under Farrakhan? Yeah, Chateau.
Fair?
Yep.
Excellent. I feel like there was a hint in that we must.
Probably.
You know, that might be all for now.
Alright, yeah, it looks like there's a bit farther to go.
But part 1, we'll do part 2 very soon.
Alright. Until part 2, my name is Eva.
And this is Frank. So- And we'll see you next time.
Till next time.